Hello, it's Andy here from IELTS LMS, and today we're going to go through the first part of a reading. I'm going to do this in real time, so to show you kind of the process that I would go through as a student if I was doing a reading test. So I've just logged into IELTS LMS as a student. This is me trying to look thoughtful, and my progress report, you see I need to do some reading because I'm not doing very well on reading lately, so I'll try and do a bit better today. So I'm going to do one of the tests on IELTS LMS, one of the mock tests, and this one, Roman tunnels. So, like I said, I'm going to go through this real time. It should take me around about 15 minutes if we're going by the suggested times for the reading, but we'll see. It might take me a bit longer, and I might try and get one or two questions wrong just to show you what happens when you get the incorrect answer in the auto grading system. So let's go ahead and start. So you'll see as soon as I click start, the timer has started counting down there. Now what I like to do is I like to look at each section of questions together. I don't read through the whole article first of all. I don't find that's useful personally, but some people do. I like to look at the set of questions. So here we've got, let's have a look at the first set of 3 questions. We've got the notepad here if we want it, and we can change all of these settings if we want to. Now, first of all, the instructions. Label the diagram, choose one word only from the passage for each answer. One word only, right? Not 2 words, not 3 words, just one word for this question from the passage. It's a good idea just to try and guess what the word is, or the type of word, what sort of word you're looking for. So here we have the Persian Quanat method. I've got no idea what this is, except it looks like it's for tunneling or something. But we've got 3 questions here. Something to direct the tunneling. Number 1 looks like these things. So I don't know, a fence or a gate or something. Water runs into a something used by local people. Now that looks to me like a river or a canal or a stream or an aqueduct or something like that. And here, vertical shafts to remove earth and for something else. Now, I'm not really sure what that is, but we've got these vertical shafts here. Don't know, I can't guess at that, but it's for some kind of function. So, the Persian Quanat method, let's go and have a look. You can do this as well. I'm just going to skim through, or skim and scan. I'm going to read quite quickly, looking for key words or synonyms that I've come across here. Okay. Okay, so first of all here, I've got a mention of the Quanat method used of tunnel construction, which consisted of placing posts over a hill in a straight line. Okay, to ensure the tunnel kept its route. So that to me looks like the answer to number 1. These look like posts, placing posts over a hill in a straight line to ensure the tunnel kept to its route, to direct the tunneling. So I think that this one, number 1, is posts. Right. Let's go on now. Okay, underground workers remove the earth. We had remove earth here. So remove the earth from between the ends of the shafts, creating a tunnel. The excavated soil, that's the removed earth, was taken up to the surface using the shafts, okay, which also provided ventilation during the work, okay. So the shafts, which also, talking about the shafts, provided ventilation. So here we've got vertical shafts to remove earth and for ventilation. Oh no, this is number 3, okay, not number 2. Ventilation. So I'm looking for number 2. Have I missed that? Or is it further down? Oh no, okay, here we go. Once the tunnel was completed, it allowed water to flow from the top of a hillside down towards a canal which supplied water for human use. Canal, human use. Water runs into a canal used by local people. So I kind of guessed that when we started off. Canal. Okay, so those answers I think are good. They make sense. Spend just a couple of seconds and go back and write them and say them to yourself. Posts to direct the tunnelling. Yeah, that makes sense. Water runs into a canal used by local people. That makes sense. Vertical shafts to remove earth and for ventilation. Okay, that makes sense as well. Happy with that. Next section, cross-section of a Roman quinut shaft. So, cross-section, so they're talking about in here, I guess. It's good to get some context to make sure you understand it. Again, let's try and guess what these answers are. Something made of wood or stone. Now that, to me, looks like a lid, or a lid is the only thing I can think of. Something attached to the plumb line. Now, I don't know if you know what a plumb line is. A plumb line is a tool. Plumb means exact, and it was an old tool for measuring when something was straight, like walls. Walls need to be straight, so builders follow plumb lines, or carpenters when they're doing doors. And it's a piece of string with a heavy weight, or a stone, or a piece of lead. It used to be a piece of lead, I think, attached to the bottom. So here we're looking for something like stone or lead or something like that here. Handholds and footholds used for, well, to me that would be climbing. So let's have a look down here. Okay, first mention. Handholds and footholds. The shafts were equipped with handholds and footholds to help those climbing in and out of them. So handholds and footholds, number 6 for climbing. Okay. And straight away, climbing out, and they were covered with a wooden or stone lid. So I guess that one, a lid made of wood and stone. That's number 5. Number 4, and number 5. I saw that as well. Romans hung a plumb line from a rod placed across the top of the shaft and made sure that the weight at the end of it hung in the center of the shaft. Okay, so again, the weight at the end of the plumb line helps to know what a plumb line is. These days people use spirit levels instead of plumb lines, although they are still used here and there. You'll see them on building sites still. Okay, so that's those. I'm quite happy with that part. Question 7, true, false, not given. Not given are always a little bit tricky, but you have to remember that you're looking at what's in the text. This is not what you think. Has something actually been mentioned in the text or not? And true or false, is there information given in the text, not what you think, but information in the text that agrees with the question or the statement or disagrees with it, contradicts it. So let's have a quick look at these. How am I doing for time? 8 minutes, not too bad. Okay, counter excavation. I'm just going to have a look at all of these questions quickly. 6th century BCE, experienced builders employed to construct a tunnel, counter excavation information. The Salde aqueduct. Salde is a proper noun, so that's easy to search for in the text when you scan through. Mistake made by builders. Okay, so true, false, not given. Now straight away I can see down here we've got this mention of 6th century, so I'm going to get straight down to there. The counter-excavation method completely replaced the quinut method in the 6th century. Completely. This is always a key word, completely. That means 100%. Okay, so here, the method, it was used to cut through mountains when the quinut method was not practical. So this tells you that both methods are being used. One is used when the other is not practical. So here, the counter excavation method completely replaced is wrong. It's false. So I'm quite confident about that answer. Next one. Only experienced builders were employed to construct a tunnel using the counter excavation method. Okay, this method required greater planning and advanced knowledge of surveying and mathematics and geometry at both ends of the tunnel. So that's experience, I guess, and knowledge. No mention of builders, particularly. Okay, here we have builders. Not about their experience. Here, builders missed each other. Maybe that's not their fault, that may be the fault of the planners. I don't think there's any mention here about the experience of the builders. I don't think there is any mention, so I think that's not given. Okay, I don't think there's anything mentioned there about their experience level. Okay. Number 9, the information about a problem occurred during the construction of Salde Aqueduct was found in an ancient book. Okay, Salde Aqueduct. An inscription written on the side of a 428 metre tunnel describes how the two teams of builders missed each other in the mountain. Okay, so it's not in a book. It was written on the side of the tunnel. So occurred, found in an ancient book, that is false. And I think I've got the answer to the next question as well. The mistake made by the builders was that the two parts of the tunnel failed to meet, which is here. They missed each other. So I know that that one is true. Okay, so pretty happy with those answers. Now, on to the last 3 questions. Note the instructions, no more than 2 words. So 1 or 2 words from the passage. So 11, what type of mineral? So we're looking at a mineral here in Dolaucothi mines. This should be quite easy to scan for. In addition to the patron whose name might be carved into the tunnel, so we're looking for some kind of name here. And what part of Seleucia Pieria was the Quevlik tunnel built to protect? Okay, so this is probably a town and should be fairly easy to search for. Now, I'm running out of space down here, so I'm going to have to move my head. Okay, now straight away, I'm running out of time. I've done 12 minutes. I can see Dolaucothi mines here, so let's just read that bit. Traces of such tunnels used to mine gold can still be found at Dolaucothi mines in Wales. Okay, so this one is gold. Pretty sure about that. In addition to the patron whose name might be carved onto the tunnel. Okay, extraction. Scanning there for name of patrons, names of patrons. Here we go, patron there. There's mention of a patron there. Most tunnels had inscriptions showing the names of patrons who ordered construction and sometimes the name of the architect. Okay, the architect. So let's say architect there. And what part of this town was the Quevlik tunnel built? Now that's quite easy to see because of all the proper nouns, so that's down here, right? For example, the Quevlik, oh that's spelled wrong, in Turkey, built to divert the water flood of the harbour. Built to divert the floodwater threatening the harbour of the ancient city. Okay, what part of this town was the Quevlik tunnel built to protect? The harbour, with American spelling. Okay, so I'm quite happy with those. Let me move this back down here. The one I wasn't so sure about was this one. I never liked the not given question, so I'm just going to change this. I think that's right, but I want to change it just to see if I can get one answer wrong. So let's change that to false. I can review the questions that I've got here and submit. Okay, so here you can see my band score of 4, not very good, but remember I only did one section. So let's have a look at the scores and explanation. Now, what did I get right and wrong? Post-canal ventilation, that's all right. Lid weight climbing is all right. Now down here, false, 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 true. Now, if you remember, I wasn't sure about this one. I thought it was not given and the answer was not given. And there won't be any location data because you can't locate an answer which is not there. Sometimes these quizzes will give you an area where the information could possibly be found. But the explanation, only experienced builders were employed to construct a tunnel using it, is not given. Okay, it doesn't give you much help there. But it only talked about the experience of the surveyors and the mathematicians. It didn't really mention the builders. So not given was the correct answer. And Gold Architect Harbour. Okay, so I think I did okay there. And that took me about 14 minutes to do. So that's not too bad with some explanations either. So I hope that helps you. We're going to do a few more of these. So keep watching and good luck with your preparation and see you next time.